Hello! In today's video I shall be looking at taking a small ident, which is in this case just a little animated logo, and adding some sound to it, maybe some sound effects and also some music as well. We're going to start by taking the original with no sound and start thinking about what we can do or what sounds we might use to add to the piece to make it come to life. Here's the original on my computer screen with the no sound version. Okay, so the first thing to look at is that initial logo when it first pops into the screen and rocks from side to side. So what sort of sound do we think would go with that? Would it be a percussive sound, or would it be a tonal sound, as in a sound with a note to it? So have a think about what you would like to do with that. A good one, if you want to go for a percussive sound, is just tapping the table, but make sure you tap in time with the moving logo, so or something like that. So have a look around the house, see what you can find which might go with that sort of sound. So you want something that's kind of rocky to and fro. Maybe it's something that makes that sound by itself, actually does rock from side to side, so maybe a clock or something like a grandfather clock. Or maybe, as I say, like a table or a small drum if you have something like that. So have a look and find something that might fit with the sound of that, or might make the sound of that, that logo first appearing and rocking from side to side. The next thing we need to look at is Sandy. Sandy is the dog that comes up and pops her head through. So obviously we need the sound of her moving into frame. She comes from nowhere and appears through the logo. So we need the sound maybe of her moving, so maybe the sound of her clothes or something, or some kind of sound. Maybe this would be a nice sound to make a tonal instrument out of. So you maybe get a guitar if you have one, or find something that makes a note, because that could signal the start of her appearing out of nowhere. So that's the first thing to look at with Sandy. The next thing, of course, is that she is a dog. So and she does move her mouth slightly at the end. So maybe you would like to find a dog, or make a barking kind of sound, or maybe find something again around the house that might have a sound that is reminiscent of a bark. Maybe you don't want something that's 100% realistic. Maybe you want something that is a little abstract. The other thing that she does is wink. So that's a really good one, because you can find something maybe quite metallic sounding. If you think of cartoons, often if someone winks in a cartoon, they will have a little ding going on as they wink. So maybe have a look for something that gives you that sort of sound. And finally, there is the sound of or we need to come up with a sound for the logo moving away and the words appearing that say Sporting Communities. That's a really good one to find a abstract sound with, something that isn't necessarily a real sound, or a sound that you would associate with something. Maybe it can be the sound of, I don't know, a car whizzing past, and if you add some effects to that, or if you put it out of context, so you don't see a car but you hear the car, maybe it might make the sound of the words appearing sound more dramatic. So look for something maybe with some movement in it. So maybe maybe just kind of sliding your hand across the sofa or something might give you a kind of sound, similar to the one we spoke about with Sandy, but if it's a sofa or something larger, you'll get a more bassy, larger sound out of it. So maybe that's something you would like to look at, or maybe you want something that's quite high registered again, so like the wink, or so maybe a bell, or maybe something that has a scrape to it. As those words move, it'd be nice to get the movement into those words. So have a look at those kind of things. Now, you don't have to record all this, maybe you're not able to, but just think about it and find some things around the house, maybe bring them together, play the video, and try and make those things work from start to finish throughout the video. and mostly just kind of have fun and try and think of different and interesting things. Things that maybe are, sometimes it's great to have something that's obvious, but sometimes it's great to have something that's not quite so obvious. This is the kind of finished ident, as it was when I made it in the studio, just to give you a few ideas that could get you going.